Hi, Sugar Gliders. You got your new notes in class today for Chapter 2, so we're going to flip through the first couple pages together, and I'm going to get us started on the first lesson. So here's our cover page. Our important question, what are we going to be learning? Our cover is outer space. The question is, due to the pull of gravity, an astronaut who weighs 180 pounds on Earth would weigh 1/6 of that on the moon. Do you know what he would weigh on the moon? If you know, you could fill it in. If you're not, don't worry about it. All right, our next page is all the concepts we're going to be learning about. Look at our essential question. When is it better to use a fraction, a decimal, or percent? So we're going to learn about how they're all the same, which we've already been doing, and then you're going to decide later which would be the best to use. Today's lesson, we're going to focus on Lesson 1, decimals and fractions. We're going to write decimals. Let's see, what are we going to do? We're going to write decimals as fractions or mixed numbers and fractions or mixed numbers as decimals. All right, our next page is a review of place value. We've reviewed it. You should know it. If not, this is a great chart for you to use. Next page is our lesson. So let's get started on decimals and fractions. Let's look on the left side. To change a decimal to a fraction. We've done this in class, so this should come easy. It says number 1, use place value. Write the fraction just like you say the decimal, and then simplify. So if our decimal is right here, 0.6, we know how to say it. We've practiced that. That's 6/10. This is what it would look like as a fraction, and to simplify, we divide the numerator and the denominator by the greatest common factor, which is 2. So in simplest form, 6/10 is equal to 3/5. So we can do that for all of our decimals. The next decimal, 6/100 is the way you say it, so we can write it 6/100. I need to simplify. 6 and 100 are both divisible by 2. They're both even numbers. So we're using divisibility rules throughout. And that simplifies to 3/50. So I can say 6/100 as a decimal is equal to 3/50. And remember how we talked in class today? It's hard to tell when you're looking at a fraction and a decimal that they're equal. But if you do a little work, you can prove it. If we look back, 3/50 was 6/100. And so 6/100 written as a decimal looks like that because we have the tenths and the hundredths place. So keep in mind a couple things. Keep in mind everything you know already. You know how to say a decimal number. You know how to simplify fractions using the GCF. You know a lot right now. So use what you know to do the rest of the problems. I'm going to take you through one more before I let you go. But let's look at this one. This one's different, 3.25, because it has a 3 in the ones place, a 3 in the whole number. So we would say 3 and 25/100. I can write that 25/100 as the fraction part of that mixed number. And then I want to simplify, like I always do, and 25/100 is equal to 1/4. So 3.25, 3 and 25/100 is equal to 3 and 1/4. Go ahead and finish this page. Couple things at the bottom that will help you. Another review of our place value chart. Use it if you need it. I would like you to list all the factors of 100 because you'll notice all our denominators, everywhere you look, can be turned into 10, 100, or 1,000. So knowing those factors ahead of time would be very helpful to you. All right, you think you're done? You're not. Sorry. Next page in your notes. If you cannot change the denominator to 100, 10, or 1,000, what are you going to do? This is where we did this in class. We divide the numerator by the denominator. So we know the numerator is the number on top. Lots of vocabulary. The bottom number is called the denominator. And so when we divide 1 divided by 8, it's going to look like this. 1 is being divided up by 8. Yes, a small number can be divided by a bigger number if we add a decimal into 0. Bring the decimal up. 8 won't go into 1. It will go into 10 one time. 1 times 8 is 8. Subtract, you get 2. Got to get rid of that remainder. Add another 0. Bring the 0 down. 8 goes into 22 times. 8 times 2 is 16. Subtract, we get 4. Add another 0 to get rid of that remainder. 8 goes into 40 5 times. And 8 times 5 is 40. So my fraction decimal equivalent, 1/8, is exactly the same as 0.125. Okay. Another reminder here, make sure you read things, make sure you are understanding. Come back tomorrow if you have any questions. So your homework is get this page done and the page before it done. Come back with your notes done. All right, thank you. Have a great night.